Hey, all right, everybody. How's it going? My name is Nick Baldwin. I am co-founder of Lab Coat Agents. And today we've got Gary Prado from Vitalis Outsourcing. And we're going to talk about something that I don't think is very popular anymore. And I feel like it should be something that agents are adding to their lead generation bucket. I don't know that calling expires is something that too many are doing at this point in time. I think, a lot of people are turning to internet lead generation or mailers, or maybe they're circle prospecting. But I feel like, especially with the market the way it is now, I don't know if too many agents are doing this. And I feel like calling expires has always been a good arm of a real estate agent's business or team. And maybe they don't want to do it. And that's why we have Vitalis Outsourcing to help us do those things. So you guys can go out there and actually sell those houses and get on those listing appointments. So Gary, thanks for being here with us. I appreciate you taking the time to chat. How's everything going?
Good. We just got back from a coaching event here this past week and signed up a bunch of clients. And so things are going incredibly fast, and we're excited about that.
Nice. And if you're watching, just drop in the chat, let us know where you're from. We always like to know where people are tuning in from on the webinar. So let's just jump into it. So what do you got for us today?
Yeah, so we're going to go over, the number one position we have at Vitalis. Well, let me go over several positions, but the number one position is engaging FSBOs and expireds. The reason for that is because it can generate you some listing appointments and money. That way you can invest in other things. But, the positions that we offer are TC, bilingual TC, which is really a really popular position. So TC bilingual, CRM management, email management, content creation. If you're not producing content, man, you are missing out on that demographic. Marketing manager and any admin task. And then also FSBOs and expireds and old expireds. And so those are the positions that we offer. But engaging FSBOs and expireds is definitely the number one position we see. And we wanted to share with you some of the best practices that we do internally that you can do as well. And so, that'll include some scripts and timing and things like that.
Yeah. So I feel like expireds and even old expireds, I feel like old expireds could probably be an even better low-hanging fruit than new expireds, because I've always felt like, the old expireds, they've taken some time off, the phone calls have stopped, and maybe they're not keeping up to date as much as they were with the market originally, and they definitely have calmed down a bit. They're not as cranky or as frustrated. You know what I'm saying? So old expireds might be a good way to go for a lot of people.
Yeah, no, old expireds are a great way, and that's part of what we do is, we engage those old expireds as well. The one thing that we're different than a normal VA company, and we don't even call ourselves a VA company. There we go. Okay, so we're not really
a little bit of a internet issue there. Okay, we're good.
Yeah. So, we call ourselves a VA company, but we're really not. We call our clients executive partners or XPs. And so just a couple things about what we do. Our vetting process is quite stringent. In order for anybody to work with us, they have to go through 5-step vetting process: background check, personality test, IQ test, skills assessment, and then English comprehension. Then they have to go through 2 interviews. So we only get the best of the best. And so when we find those candidates, we then place them with you guys. And one of those positions are engaging FSBOs and expired. So, those are the positions that we excel at, we're really good at. And it's growing incredibly fast because, like you said, Nick, agents don't want to do it themselves. What we do, it's a done for you service. Look on your calendar, you go on the listing appointment, and then that's it. That's what we do. We just push clients to those calendars.
Yeah, that's awesome. VAs are, these people are trained in making these calls, or trained in objection handling. And, you know, uh, like I said, it's something that can give you leverage. If you just want to show up to the appointment, that's, this is the type of leverage you want to get. I always say leverage is a new hustle. And VAs are definitely that leverage. So for people who don't understand, like, a TC is a transaction coordinator. So what would a TC do?
Yeah, so they handle everything from open houses to from the transaction, the sale. Make sure all of the contractor stuff is done, all of the paperwork is done for the transactions, for the attorney. Everything they handle, all the paperwork, all the red tape in between, from the open house, organizing the open house, making sure the follow up is there, as far as the everything as far as the paperwork and processes for getting the house to market, whether it can be putting it on the MLS, whatever it is. So just everything that handles with the transaction, all the way through from cradle to grave.
And tell me about the social media content creation, because that's something interesting that you don't see a lot of that going on in terms of, with a virtual assistant. So what type of content creation are they helping agents with?
Yeah. So good SEO blog content. We love good SEO blog content. We run them through a couple AI programs to create those blogs. Then they start ranking for your website. So we use some AI tools for that. So blog SEO content. Also, we love Instagram. Love Instagram. The reason we love Instagram is because you can go to your competitors on Instagram and look at all their followers. And then when you follow their followers, what happens when you get that follow? So when that person gets that follow, they then get the notification. Do you want to follow them back? And of course, 99% of the time you say yes. So
Right.
You're actually just pushing content to your competitors' followers, which is a cool way to build your organic growth in that social media. So, tactics like that to grow your social media, it can be, static ads or static graphics. It can be videos, open houses, walkthroughs. It can be a variety of different things, but that's what a social media person for us helps the real estate agent with, is just pumping out that content on a consistent basis. And plus, what we do is the VA has to have KPIs, and we manage and train them on a consistent basis. So they have to hit those social media KPIs on a weekly basis, and so we hold them accountable.
And why do you think expireds and FSBOs is your most popular, asked for product or service you guys offer?
We just had 2 sign up this morning. The reason for that is because it's a done for you service. Agents don't like to make the phone calls or send the emails or engage those FSBOs and expireds. They're not, you have to do certain things, Nick, to be successful by engaging FSBOs and expireds. And a lot of agents, number one, don't have the time to do it. And we're going to go over those now, and we're going to share our script in just a couple minutes, our number one script. But agents don't have the time or the will to do it. And what we have seen, Nick, is that, for example, here are the numbers we see. We monitor the numbers on a weekly basis. Every day, a executive partner, or you guys call them VAs, they're making 350 to 400 phone calls a day. That's their numbers. They're then talking to about 30 people per day. This isn't an 8-hour shift, 8 hours. So they're talking to about 30 people per day. And then we're out of all those numbers per week, you're getting 4 listing appointments per week. So that's a lot of engagements and phone calls and numbers. And plus, Nick, not everybody is home at 9 a.m. in the morning. Not everybody is home at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Not everybody is home at 7 p.m. at night. And you have to vary your call times in order to get in contact with that expired, or you're just not going to be successful. So it's a lot of phone calls. It's a lot of emails. It's at different times of the day. And most agents don't have the time or the will to do it. And that's what we do best.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because it could really be another full-time job.
It is.
So you're saying that your VAs or your, what did you call them?
We call them XPs or executive partners.
Okay, executive partners. Yeah, I'm a big fan of making your virtual assistants part of your team.
Yes.
Treat them like they're on your team. Treat them like they're part of the company. Don't treat them like they're a virtual assistant. So I like that you guys call them that. Like at Lab Code Agents, we have a lot of really great virtual assistants that, one is our director of operations, one helps with sponsorships, one edits the videos, and they all have very specific titles in place. So it's important to treat them like the important people that they are and the integral part of your business. So what did you want to show us today? There's very specific scripts that are working for your VAs?
Yeah, so this is the script we use. So this is the script we use to get those listing appointments. Let me share my screen real quick. And I just wanted to show, and by the way, if anybody has, let me share this. If anybody has presentation, anybody wants these scripts, we can email them to you. So, so if you have any of those, if you haven't quite, you're not going to be able to get all of this. So we just wanted to put it here, but if you want information on these scripts, we'll send you all the scripts. You can just send it to Gary@vitalisva.com. That's Gary@vitalisva.com. So, so this is our script, and I'm just going to read through it really quick. And this is a script that we use. This is a expired script, and we also do FSBOs, but expireds are where we get most of the listings from. So I'm just going to read through it real quick. Some of this you guys might have already do, but it's a pretty simple script. Hey, this is is this the owner of 123 Main Street? Hi, Joe. I apologize. I'm on the team of blank, blank, blank. Does that ring a bell? Yes or no, no worries. I saw your place came on the market and it was marked as unsold. Are you still interested in selling? It looks like a beautiful place from what I see online. Why don't you think it sold? Now, Nick, we know you have to start engaging people in the conversation. You can't just read a script and expect them to say, okay, come on over. You want to get them talking and build that rapport.
They're not going to be like, thank God you called, Gary.
I know. Right. So you want to get them talking. Why don't you think the house sold? And so, a couple of things we go after that. And this is a script that we use every day for all of these calls. We probably make millions of phone calls a day, and this script works the best. And at the end, we'll go over that, what we do as far as the listing appointment floor plan. We give that to them, or say the agent's going to give that to them, and we'll get into that in a minute. So, okay, awesome. I apologize. My name is blank, blank, blank. Does that ring a bell to you? No, no worries. I saw that you're home. Oops, sorry, that was a redundant. So if yes, you're still interested in selling, this is what we say. If no, I'm not looking to sell anymore, that's what we say. So a couple objections we say or talk about. We're taking a break from selling the home right now, and then the agent we're considering, we have rebuttals for that. We're thinking of renting out instead. We have rebuttals for that. We didn't like working with our agent. That's probably the number one objection you have, as far as we didn't like working with that agent, or the communication was poor. We have a rebuttal for that. And then here's our FSBO script that we use. This is our number one FSBO script. Now, we're going through a lot, guys, so don't worry. We can send this to you, or you can send me an email. We'll send all this to you. This is our number one FSBO script that we use, because we do FSBOs and expireds as well, but we have better luck with expireds. So then, Nick, at the end of the script, we always say your realtor is going to have a listing appointment floor plan for you. And so that floor plan, if you guys don't give these away for free, we always say it's a $750 value. that you can use in the future if you wanted to use. And here's what a listing appointment floor plan looks like. Market insights, marketing trends. Of course, there's the introduction to your company. Also, property exposure, open houses and showings that are in the area, staging and presentation. We're going to give insight on that. Pricing strategy, timeline. We're going to give information on the timeline, what happens next, then testimonials from existing clients, and then that's where we are going to end. So we always try to give that client that listing. Let me stop sharing my screen. And so we always try to give that listing that expired or that FSBO, tell them that they're going to get a value there, a value prop, which is giving them that listing appointment floor plan that agent is going to create. So that's what we do every day. And Nick, it's a numbers game. The more people you talk to, the more pitches you get out. The more pitches you get out, the more listing appointments you have. And then the more listing appointments you have, the more of these floor plans that you're going to give out and create value. And then you're going to get the listing appointments based off of a number of those.
So you use the term floor plan. So where does that term come from?
It's a term we used internally. Okay. With the people that we've been in business 14 years. We've been with Prospect Boss and both companies. We've been in business 14 years. It's just a marketing term that we use. Listing appointment floor plan. We use that. So it just creates value. It's just the coined phrase, I guess, that we have. We use.
No, I'm just curious because I haven't heard that used before. But yeah, that's cool. I like that, and it sounds. Like it sounds different. It sounds like really important. You know what I'm saying? And a homeowner might be like, "Ooh, a floor plan. What's that? I wonder what that is."
Well, yeah, you have to give them something when you go to that listing appointment. You can't just say, "I'm going to sell your house." You have to be prepared. You have to have your ducks in a row. You've got to have this floor plan that you're going to create for them. To make them know that you're a professional in the industry and you're going to give all this to them. And I'm sure most agents do this. But that's what we do, and that's how we're getting those listing appointments, on a weekly basis, those 4 listing appointments on average. And, and that's how we're getting it, by letting them know that agent is a professional and that they're going to have, a listing appointment floor plan that they can use.
Yeah, no, I like that. That's cool. So what type of results? So you're saying that on average, if you give, depending on the market, right? Like every market's different, expireds are different no matter where you are. So like you have someone calling 8 hours a day, new expires, old expires. What type of, on average, what type of results are you guys seeing from these?
Yeah. So, like I said, I went through the numbers and, we always try to make sure that the agent has a good list presentation. Would be surprise presentation. I don't know. I think I lost you. We're back. Okay. So
yeah, I'm back.
We kind of
I don't know if it's
on
my internet or your internet or whatever, but we're still here. That's all that matters.
Yeah. So, we try to coach them on the listing presentation to have a good listing presentation. As far as the numbers are concerned, it really is based off of, like we had an agent this morning who signed up. His name was Joseph. And he said, "Gary, I am great when I get in the house. I'm going to sell 90% of them." That's what he said. And so, it's really up to each individual agent. Our job at Vitalis is to make sure you get in the house. And so that's what we do. It's a done for you service. And so, that's what we're good at. We do offer kind of coaching on the listing appointment side or listing presentation side, but overall, our job is just to get you in the house. What happens after that is, up to the agent.
Yeah, and like you said, a lot of agents just aren't callers, but when they get inside the house, they know how to say and do the right thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? And it actually looks, optically looks, I feel, so much more important if someone else is calling on your behalf You know what I'm saying? It just has like optically it looks better. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, there's a kid who, and I better not mention his name, but his first year he listed 96 houses. His
Oh,
first year in business. Now this was a while ago.
yeah,
This is
that's
like
crazy.
3 years ago. I know. I can't mention his name. I don't want
No,
to
that's
mention his
okay.
name.
We don't want people just jumping out
Yeah,
at him.
yeah. But he did this he uses Prospect Boss, which is our sister company. But then he used those to make the dials. He used Vulcan for the data or RedX for the data. We do the same thing, Vulcan or RedX. And then he just made phone calls no matter what. We would be on calls, Nick, and he would say, "I got to go," and we would say, "Why do you have to go?" And he said, "Well, it's time for me to make my phone calls. It's on my calendar." He sticks
Yeah.
to his calendar and he makes the phone calls, 4 hours of prospecting phone calls per day. And by the way, he'll drive 4 hours to a listing appointment. He
Oh my
will drive
goodness.
4 hours and go. And so that's how he did it. He had the work ethic to do that and to make those calls and to go on those listing appointments. And that's how he was successful. It's a numbers game, Nick. It always has been and it always will be.
Yeah, can you imagine driving 4 hours back and forth?
No,
Oh
but
my
he
God.
did. But he did, and he's incredibly successful at it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I don't know if that's something I would do, but I'd be on the opposite side of the state. But a lot of people would say, well, that's taking away from his prospecting time. Well, I mean, it's also money making activity too, driving that 4 hours. Yeah, awesome. So anything else that we should let people know about virtual assistants or executive assistants or whatever you want to call it? If somebody's on the fence about, well, I don't know if this is something that I can afford, what does that look like?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, we're not the cheapest company, and I will tell you that. And if you want an executive partner tomorrow, we're not the company for you. Everybody has to go through our vetting process and our vetting process and our interviews. Period. No matter what, we will not sacrifice quantity over quality as a company. And so, what we do is we have 2 service plans for our company. One service plan is part-time, one service plan is full-time, 20 hours and 40 hours. A 20-hour service plan is $995 for the month. So it's $995. That's the entire month paid up front. Full-time is $1,670. That's the payment for the month for a 40-hour service plan. Nick, what happens is a lot of companies in the virtual assistant side, they charge these large upfront fees, like $2,000, $3,000, and they've got their money up front, and they're like, okay, I'm going to charge this, and then we know it's not going to work out. We got you a virtual assistant. We're not going to train and manage them, but we do. And so they've got $3,000. That virtual assistant company hopes to get a month or two of service before they realize that their virtual assistant isn't any good and they're disappearing and they're not being productive and they're not a team member and they're not really have little desire to be successful with your team. And so what we do as a company is a little different. We don't charge any upfront fees. So there's no upfront fee. You're just paying the first month when we get them hired. This way, we have to earn your business on a month-by-month basis. There's no long-term contract. Your contract with us is 30 days. That's it. 30 days, that's all you're committed to. And so we have to earn your business, and we do. Nick, right now, we have 100% placement rate. We have no VA that has been fired or let go. Do you know why?
Why?
Because it's our
process.
vetting process and our training process. Yes.
Yeah.
So like
if somebody says, okay, someone calls you today and says, I want a VA, I want someone to call expires for me. Because of the vetting process, what's the time frame that someone can actually have their VA ready to go?
That's a great question. So we tell everybody it's going to take 5 to 7 business days before we have your candidates for you. So
Okay.
5 to 7 days, you're going to hear from your delegation coach. Your delegation coach is going to say, okay, Nick, we've got your top 3 candidates available. When are you going to be available to interview those candidates? So then you hop on a webinar, whatever that time is, and it's going to be Nick, you, your delegation coach, and the 3 candidates. The delegation coach will lead that call. And so they'll lead it and ask questions. You'll be able to ask questions as well and interview them on their history, their work experience, things like that. And so at that time, you'll be able to talk to those 3 people. And then you and your delegation coach will circle back right after the meeting and talk about which candidate you liked and why, and your delegation coach will also say the candidate that they like and why. From there, you get to pick them when they start. Then this is what we do different than any other VA company, Nick. We start training them on your systems and processes. So you don't have to train them. The reason why VAs don't work out is because there's no accountability for them. Nobody's managing them. Nobody's training them, and they're not productive. But this is what we do best, is train and manage them. So at that point, after this 7 business days, you'll have your delegate, or a little bit earlier, you'll have your meeting with your delegation coach. Then we'll start training them on your systems and processes. That'll take 3 days after that. And then they'll start working for you then. So about 2 weeks is when they'll start working for you. Okay. Like I said, we're not fast, and we will not sacrifice quantity over quality. But we are very good at that process and identifying world-class talent for you. And so that's what we're good at. And that's what you can expect from us, is quality, not quantity.
Love it. That's perfect. So if you guys are interested in finding out more information, or you want to receive $250 off exclusively through lab coat agents with Vitalis Outsourcing, just scan that QR code right there on the screen. And you can find out more info. And if choosing an executive assistant is something that you've been looking to do in the past, now's the time to do it. Especially with the market being the way it is, you just got to be on appointments, and that's your job. Appointments. You didn't get into this business to be an appointment setter. You got into this business to be on appointments. So get someone else to do that for you. And do what people aren't doing. You always got to be doing things that other people aren't willing to do. So, and it's an investment in your business. And yeah, $995 a month, you said?
Yeah. So the part-time plan ends up being about $11 an hour. The full-time plan is about $9 an hour.
Gotcha. And where are most of the VAs located?
Oh gosh, Nick, all over the world. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, Costa Rica, Mexico, we hire from Portugal, Uganda. Sorry about that again. Yeah.
No, that's okay. I don't know if
so all over the country.
Yeah. So all over different countries. Yep. I love that. Mm-hmm. And
yes.
Yeah, great. So if anyone's interested, scan the code, get in touch with Gary and the Vitalis Outsourcing team and see if it's right for you, and receive $250 off your first month. And it's month to month. There's no long-term contracts. And so nothing to lose.
No upfront fees. No upfront fees.
No upfront fees either. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate you being here. Thanks, everyone, for watching. We'll see you on the next one.